timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! Brady has his fifth! 13! 13! Can you believe it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the Locker Room Podcast. I'm your host, Oliver, as always, joined by our mystery man, Sharpy.
Hello.
It's been another week break. I had a busy week and no, I wasn't sick. There's no real excuse, but coming up to Christmas time, it gets busy. So, but we're back and that's what's important. I've made a point not to talk about the Lakers today, but we probably will at some point anyway. Because the first question is, and I'll go to you if you want to take the lead with this one. What has been the most disappointing thing this year? Now, it can either be like a player, it can be a team, it can be maybe the quality of basketball or a certain rule being shit or something happening, something like that. What are you been most disappointed about by this season? Is it a player or is it a team, or what do you got? I'm putting you on the spot here as well, so
I don't know. I've been pretty happy with sort of, but like with teams, like I mean, most teams that I've expected to lose have been losing, and vice versa, opposite. But players, I don't know.
Memphis have been meant to be pretty deep. Like they weren't meant to be good, but they were meant to be a lot better than what they've done so far. Obviously, they've got reasoning for that. Like everyone knew they weren't going to have Ja Morant for a bit. And I think the most obvious one's probably Jordan Poole. I think everyone expected him to take a massive leap with having not his own team, because I wouldn't even say he's the best player on his team, but being a major option for that team. But did you have any other?
Yeah, you probably say Jordan Poole. Yeah, I know Wemby hasn't really got off to the start I expected. I mean,
he's just not efficient.
I mean, he had 8 blocks the other week.
That was good to watch.
Like he's had great games. Like, don't get me wrong. Spurs have been average. Zach Collins has been playing really well.
Yeah, he has.
So I don't know.
I just think that Wemby hasn't found his shot. Like I've watched a few of their games now, and it's like a lot of his points do come like obviously close to the rim and it's good that he's getting close to the rim and stuff. But like from what I've seen, he hits maybe 2 or 3 at best jump shots from mid-range or from 3 a game, and then like he's obviously putting up a lot more than that, and he's missing them all. So I think it's a matter of just finding his shot, getting more consistency with his shot. Obviously, I'm a Chet bias. We're not going to go back into that, but like Chet is confident with his shot. He looks very confident. Obviously, Wemby's confident, but it's just not falling. Like he's still shooting it, and he's allowed to have 20 shots a game, whereas you'd be very surprised if someone like Chet had 20 shots a game.
And I think because he's at the Spurs, and the Spurs aren't like they're not expected to do much. I think it's probably the right time for him to try and do that as well, because like the team's not going to expect it to amount to anything. So
yeah,
like with him trying to get into the groove of the NBA, like he's going to have the whole season this season to try and work on everything.
Yeah, I think you can put Clay, so a lot of people have been putting Klay Thompson in there as well as one of the most disappointing. Just him and Andrew Wiggins. Obviously, they haven't had a great start to the year. Klay obviously had his first 20-point game of the season today. I think it's a bit rough because, like, obviously he's come. I know that his injury was a while ago now, but like he had a pretty big run towards the end. I think it was towards the end of last year or maybe the year before. He had a very good run. And I think he just needs more, like, I'm not a Warriors fan, and I don't really like the Warriors. I appreciate what they've done, but I just don't like the Warriors. But I think the idea that they should, like, trade him and all of this sort of stuff, like, why? Like, I don't think you're going to get a valuable piece for him on an expiring contract. And if he re-signs, then he's going to retire there. And, like, that's something I would love to see. Just, like, I'd love to see him, Curry, and as much as I dislike Draymond, all 3 of them just retire as Warriors. and kind of get back to that one club player or one team player sort of vibe. But what do you think about the whole Klay Thompson start to the season?
Yeah, well, I mean, it has been disappointing and pretty flat. I don't know whether his shot's just not falling, and that happens to a lot of people. But I feel like with someone like Klay Thompson, he should be. I just don't know what they're expecting
Yeah.
out of, like, which does he have to drop 30 points every game? Probably. I mean, he's that type of player, but um, I mean, there's so many times where the greats don't even drop that,
Yeah.
like every game.
And he
But I
is
mean,
great, but yeah.
if you're gonna willing to compete, and that's what the Warriors have been doing for a long
Mm.
time, is competing, you're gonna have to put up those numbers. So I mean, we're just bashing Harden for the same thing.
Yeah.
So if Harden can have that criticism, I think Klay
Yeah.
is warranted of criticism as well. So
Because I think this will be the first, like currently, I know it's very short, but this is the first time, like, since his career, he's averaged less than 15 or 20. I can't remember exactly the figure. If it's 20, I feel like that's a load of crap because I feel like he wouldn't have averaged 20. I could be completely wrong. But I think I did hear something interesting though when I was watching them versus OKC in that huge game the other day. Like when he was in that shooting slump, whenever he shot the ball, he would already start like falling back to defense. Whereas like you remember prime Klay, like he would spot up, hold the hand up, and just like stand in the same spot. I think that's a mental thing as well, as like that actually does affect your shot. As stupid as it might sound to some people, when you're playing basketball, and if you actually like make sure you stick the landing and everything, it actually does affect your shot. But I think he'll be fine. Jordan Poole is probably my bigger concern because I don't know. Well, maybe the Wizards will move on. I don't think they'll move on from him, but rumors are rumors. And talking about rumors, another disappointing team and a disappointing player, I think, for this year, Zach LaVine. What do you think happens here? Because, like I said at the start of the year, I think the Bulls could easily blow it up before All-Star break. Do you think he gets traded? And who do you think he would go to if he did get traded? Because obviously the three teams heavily linked is Heat, Sixers, and Lakers, of course.
and I saw today that Hornets is a name in there as well, and
Weird. Yeah, that's
Hornets
weird.
and Raptors are, I think, outsiders.
Yeah.
But I can see him. I think Lakers fans, obviously they're heavily pushing for him. They're pushing for everyone really.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I can see Chicago, if they're going to blow it up, they're going to look for as many assets as possible. And I don't think Rui Hachimura and D'Lo is going to be enough.
Miami could give up a bit.
Mm,
I think
yeah,
that giving up Tyler Hero. I wouldn't give up Tyler
yeah.
Hero if I was them,
I
to be
wouldn't give up
honest.
Tyler Hero for Levine. There's a big
Yeah.
difference between Zach Levine and Dame. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Philly, I don't know who they could possibly give up. Tobias
But like
Harris, obviously
he's playing really well this year.
he's always the name that gets thrown around when Philly make trades.
But
I don't
why
know.
would they want? Yeah, like why would the Bulls want a huge contract that for a player that's reasonably old? It's like
No, he's not. I don't know about reason. I think he's 29 or
yeah,
something.
but like he's probably getting just to the other. Like I feel like his prime has already been when he was at the Clippers, and which was a very young prime. But I don't
Who are
see
we talking about
why
here?
Tobias Harris.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Levine. Sorry.
I
Yeah, fair
yeah,
enough.
no, but I was just talking about like trading him to Bulls. I don't see why the Bulls would want to do that if that like I feel like they want to get young assets since they gave up a lot for Vooch to Orlando. So I think I think they need to blow it up, but so before I interrupt, who did you think that he would the most likely option for him to go to?
I'd see it being the Lakers.
Yeah.
Where I'd want him to go is probably the Raptors or something.
Yeah. I'm gonna go the Heat just for the sole purpose. It wouldn't surprise me if they give up Tyler Hero. Like, I don't think they should. And I think Tyler Hero is a better player. I reckon he's nearly a better player than Levine. Like, obviously, Levine's done it for a bit longer now. But I think I'd much rather have, right now, I'd much rather have Hero on my team than Levine, personally. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I reckon that something will happen in the next 2 to 3 weeks, of whether a trade request comes in or something like that. But yeah,
I think he's like team are sort of putting trying to put together a trade or something. I mean, Rich Paul's his agent, so that's automatically going to link him with LeBron.
I was about to say, well, DeMar DeRozan could easily get moved as well then. Vucevic I would say, get moved if they move those other two. And then they can give Patrick Williams $250 million.
I was talking about this with Brad the other week.
Our Bulls fan, by the way.
Yeah, our Bulls mate, who Ollie doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I was saying to him, like, who do the Bulls have that could, if they're going to possibly go on a rebuild, who could they start with? You can't just start a rebuild off with some people that are in their prime or that.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, well, he's injured a lot. I said you got Kobe White, you got Pat Will, Desonmu. Like who I don't even know who their backup center is. Is it Andre Drummond still?
Yeah,
probably.
But like, that's the thing, they've ruined them for themselves. But if they move, let's say, I don't know what teams in particular, but if you move Vooch, Levine, DeRozan, and Caruso, I think you could get a bit for him.
Didn't they just give Vooch a heap of money? I feel like he just signed in free agency. He signed a pretty big extension, money wise.
Don't recall. I thought they might have been holding off for another year. I could be wrong though, but like, if they move those 4 players on, I think they could get some pretty good draft compensation, or decent young players that maybe not a superstar or an all-star, but like, I'm trying to think of a good player that you could build your team around, but I can't think of any right now.
Yeah. On the Bulls, and like on the Bulls, I don't know what draft picks they have, but what assets they have like going forward. But I don't know if also Billy Donovan's the problem as well.
Yeah, I'd love Billy, but he could easily be the problem. But yeah.
Yes, I don't know with his style of basketball. I don't watch Bulls games unless they're playing the Knicks. But yeah, I don't know.
Like, you could easily see like maybe a Caruso getting traded to, like, say, a Pelicans. Like, they've already got good young guards, like good defensive guards. Another one in there, I don't really know. I wouldn't, because I would want to see Dyson Daniels get more minutes. But yeah, it's just another option. But
he's had a pretty good start as well, though. He almost got a triple double the other day.
What a beast! Not as good as me, of course, but anyway, we'll move on. Now, this one is a debate I've been having with a few people, with a couple of Minnesota fans as well. Anthony Edwards, obviously a great player, and I feel like we've had this discussion before. But right now, as at 22nd of November or 23rd of November, whatever the date is Anthony Edwards a superstar?
Yeah, I'd like to say yeah.
First of all, what do you classify as a superstar? Because like, we could have different meanings, and that's why our answers might be different.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between a superstar and then the next level after that's franchise player.
Yeah.
But I think Anthony Edwards is also a franchise player because Timberwolves is a small market team.
Yeah.
But I think the one that's a guaranteed all-star, and like you won't even have to worry about the voting, and one that can carry a team against the good teams, and I don't know. He's just a good scorer, a good defender, and I think that's what he is as well. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the type of player.
I have nothing wrong with that, and if you're using that, that's completely understandable. I guess my view of it is similar to what you said. Like, to be honest, I think he's a franchise player, but I don't think he's a superstar yet, which might be contradicting, but it's like also just like a young player, like LaMelo Ball could be a franchise. I'm not saying he is because I don't think he is, but just saying he could be a franchise player, but he's not put it together yet, so he's not a superstar.
He's having
But
a lot
like,
of good games for Hornets, but it's just
yeah,
Hornets are performing bad.
yeah. But for Anthony Edwards, I think for me, there's only I think maybe 12 superstars in the league, if that. I would go through them, but yeah, that'd take up too much time. But I think a superstar is like they've had to have put it together for more than a year. So I think like, for example, like I wasn't ready to even classify SGA as a superstar at the start of this year because yes, he did it last year, but I need to see him do it again this year. Because like obviously you got your anomalies like Randall who had an amazing year and then dropped off. Like he was playing like a superstar, or you could argue, but then he didn't maintain it the next year. So I think it's like teams figure you out the year that you make a breakout, and then it's like Tyrese Maxey. He could be a superstar by the end of next year. He could be, but that's my I guess, and that's why I don't think Anthony Edwards is a superstar as of today. I think at the end of the season, I'll be more clear on whether he is a superstar player. I think he is a franchise player, but right now I don't. And obviously the Timberwolves currently are the number 1 seed, but that's my opinion. Yeah, it's probably
It could have been used still. Sorry about that. The Knicks just did not want to perform yesterday.
yeah. Well, it could be a controversial opinion as well, and I've had this debate with a couple of Wolves supporters that aren't too happy. But while we are on the
Up
Wolves,
the Isaacs.
and it wasn't him actually. While we are talking about the
Sam Oxley's
Wolves, do you think they can maintain this? Because obviously they're top of the West, 10-3. Karl Anthony Towns, as much hate as we've put on him previously, he's looked very good in the last 5 to 6 games. Obviously he still sucks around a bit, but so do a lot of great players. So we can't hold that.
Jimmy Butler. Damn it, boy.
Do you think the Wolves can keep this up, or do you think they're going to tail away at some stage? Because I remember at the start of the season, I had them under 44.5 wins. And I'm probably looking a bit like a doofus now, but
I probably did as well. So
yeah.
I
No,
guarantee
keep it
I
up,
did.
though.
Yeah, I can see it. I
And
mean, Anthony Edwards is only just going to get better. So
yeah.
and I mean, if it's better than what he is now, then it's going to be something special.
Do you think they would actually, if they did hypothetically keep this up, do you think they could actually be like make a run as like a contender rather than being like, for example, like the Kings last year, we all like they were unreal. They finished 3rd seed or 4th seed or whatever they did. But I think everyone kind of knew they weren't actually going to be a contender for the title. Do you think they would be a contender if they finished top 2 in the West, top 3 in the West?
Yeah, I can see it.
The one reason that makes me think that they could be, and I can't believe I'm saying this about the Wolves because I hate the Wolves, is that one, they've got they're not going to stop Jokic, but they've got the best, I guess they've got the best lineup to kind of stop Jokic. Like you've got Rudy Gobert, 7 foot, that can hold his own in the paint.
You dropped 40 on him.
Yeah, obviously Jokic is going to do what he does, but like in a 7-game series, obviously the Lakers have got a good matchup, but like your Kings, who's going to stop Jokic? Not Sabonis.
He ain't going to stop anyone.
Thunder, Chet's not going to really stop Jokic. And obviously they got good defense. Is McDaniel? No, McDaniels is the one that went to Lakers, isn't he? I'm getting my McDaniels and no, Vanderbilt went to Lakers.
Yeah.
McDaniels is a really good young defender. And obviously they got the vet Conley.
McDaniels got paid.
Yeah, so he deserved to. He was flying under the radar. I don't know what the deal was, but I think we discussed it and said that he got like a good deal for him, obviously, but I think it was if other teams actually threw money at him, he probably would have got a lot more. Which was surprising. But I think they can contend. Obviously, the Nuggets are still up there, and OKC is going to be in the Western Conference Finals. So we'll see what happens. We've got a few more things to touch on now. Early redraft. Now we're what, 2 weeks in? How many? No, we're a month in, over a month in. So it's a small sample, but we're just going to do our top 3 draft picks for redrafting the 2023 draft. Obviously, I think we're still both going to say Wemby number 1. So let's just leave it at that. Actually, no, I'm going to put Chet. No. Wemby number 1. Who do you have 2 and 3? Because obviously you wouldn't put Scoot Henderson, I don't think. I could be wrong. You might still be
He just got
taking...
he's got assigned to the G League today.
Did he? He's been injured
Yeah.
though, hasn't he? He's come back from injury.
Yeah, it's a condition
Yeah.
like assignment. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, but that'd be good. Yeah, no, that'd be good for him. But I'm presuming you wouldn't be taking Scoot in 2nd or 3rd.
No,
I think we're gonna have the same.
definitely be taking Thompson.
I was about to say, I think we're gonna have the same at 2nd. Is it Asir? How do you say Asir?
Aja Thompson, I think.
Yeah. So we'll take Thompson 2. Who do you think's going 3rd? Because I like Brendan Miller's had moments. He's had flashes.
He had a really good game against the Knicks the other day.
Derek Lively's been up there.
Yaquez Jr.
Oh yeah, he's been playing well for Heat. Is it May? Is
Grady,
it one of them?
Grady Dick also.
Hawkins for the Pelicans.
For Pelicans, he's been shooting well.
Yeah, he was playing really well. I don't think he's getting as much minutes now. He dropped like 20 something the other day. I can't remember.
I guess he was one of the best shooters in the like he was one of the best shooters for a prospect. So
who would you take at that 3rd spot? The safe thought
Derek
for me
Lively.
is
Probably I'll probably go Derek Lively.
It was either Derek Lively or Brendan Miller for me. But I'm going to take Brendan Miller just because Derek Lively's playing with Doncic and Kyrie, which obviously makes it a little bit easier for him. Obviously, he's still got to do what he does, but that's the only reason why I'm going to stick with Brendan Miller, which is probably the boring answer, but it's the answer I'm going with. And last topic before we go, and I can't believe we're actually I'm talking about this. The Orlando Magic. I can't believe I'm talking about the Orlando Magic a month in. I didn't think I would talk about them at all this year, except for how they're going to be in the lottery. They are currently, I think, the 6th seed. I could be wrong. The 5th seed. They're on a 4-game win streak. They've got Joe Ingles on their team, which is probably the biggest plus for all of them. Obviously, I'm guessing this team has surprised you. Do you think they can maintain it? Do you think they're going to fall off? Because like their team is like the way I would compare it is similar to like the Raptors a few years ago, where they had a solid team that was like the 5th or 6th seed. I think Orlando can be that in like a year or 2. I think they've just got a good starting 5, but they haven't got a super like Paolo Banchero can be a superstar. Could be a future superstar. But I think they've just got a really solid 5 and then a good couple of backups off the bench. Do you think they can keep it up, and do you think they'll actually maintain it to make the playoffs, or do you think they're just going to be a tail end play-in team?
I just don't think they're versing good teams. So I don't see like they beat the Pacers and the Bucks. I'll give them that. They had the 2 wins over the Bulls this month. They lost to the Nets, lost to the Hawks, lost to the Magic,
beat
the Lakers, beat the Raptors today.
Did they beat the Lakers? I thought that. Oh no, they lost.
Yeah, they beat the Lakers.
They lost the first time they versed them, didn't they? By like a game winner or something. Yeah, they missed by they lost by a point, which is still
3-point loss. So they haven't really, when they beat the team, they're not really beating big teams except the Bucks and what was the other team? I forgot the other team.
Bucks, Lakers, and
Pacers.
Pacers, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know whether they're going to they got the Nuggets next, then the Celtics. So we'll see. I'll probably make my decision after that game.
Yeah.
After those games to see, but then they got the Hornets and the Gee, they've got a really easy schedule. Yeah.
They're not getting that top draft pick.
Then they got the Wizards again. Bloody hell.
They're going to go on
I
like a
think I can.
16-game losing streak because they're going to get all their
Yeah,
games
they're
in
going to
the
crash
same
hard.
area.
I can see. But
Um,
I don't
yeah,
think that I don't think I have the right to take credit away from them though. But
yeah,
they have been playing well, and you still got to beat teams whether they're good or bad.
yeah.
And they have been beating the bad teams.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty cool that they're doing. Obviously, Paolo is going to be the cornerstone for that team for a long
Barnes
time,
is
and
going to be a good number 2.
I'm hoping Anthony Black has his sort of coming out games as
Yeah.
well. I wanted him to do well.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, they're doing well. Jingles is going to carry them. So
Of course, he should be their number 1 option, but
yeah,
he's the man to go to for technicals. So that's all that
Mm.
matters. He's getting 3 points. But yeah, I think they're going to be a tail end playing team at best. I don't think they'll make the 8. I think they'll be 9 or 10, like I said, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs through the play-in or anything. Look, I'll be glad if I'm wrong because it'd be good to see another team like that that have drafted their young talent get to the playoffs. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, it has reminded me, though, I know I said that was the last topic, but I do want to touch on one more thing, and it's the Cavs. Obviously, they won today against the Sixers without Donovan Mitchell. But other than that, I haven't liked what I've seen from the Cavs. So, like, Mobley's still somehow leading, or he's like second in Depoy, the price for Depoy. I feel like Anthony Davis should be a couple of dollars clear of him at least. But my question is, like, the Cavs, they've lost to OKC twice, so I've seen them a fair bit already. But like, I don't think Donovan Mitchell's going to be there that much longer. I would be surprised if he is there in 3 years' time, 3 years' time.
he's a knickerbocker.
What are your thoughts on that whole Cavs situation? I think they're not going too bad. Where are they in the standings? I just had it
8
up.
and 6.
Yeah, so they're going. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. I was about to say that
They're
was a
7th in
surprise.
the East.
Yeah, they're 7th. Well, they're behind the Knicks actually on mine. They're 8th. They're 8th in the East. They haven't had the hardest schedule, but do you think it's a concern? Do you see Donovan Mitchell being a problem in the next 2 or 3? I know it's a very long way down the track, but are you just being a hopeful Knicks supporter and saying that you do hope he leaves in the next few years?
I mean, I could see him being the Knick next year. I think it's like someone. I think it was Windhurst. He said, "Yeah, it's the worst kept secret in basketball that Donovan Mitchell's going to the Knicks."
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Danny Ainge screwed us out of getting him,
Mm.
so you can't now.
Yeah. I don't see why he would want to stay at the Cavs. I think they're just going to be that consistent mid-table, 4th or 5th seed at best, but not actually be competitive come playoffs. Like, you smoked them last year in the first round. And yeah, you had a decent team, but your team was nothing special, to say the least.
No, we just smoked him on the boards, and that was just
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson.
And that's
And
a
Brunson.
surprise. Yeah, and that's a surprise when they've got 2 twin towers. But yeah, I think he's going to leave pretty soon, and whether it is next year, we'll link it back to this moment, and you'll be already celebrating because he'll probably be a Knick because I don't see where else he would go, but Raptors maybe. But we'll wrap it up there. We'll leave some other things to talk to about next week, and we'll
How about
see.
those Philadelphia Eagles?
Why are you saying that?
They've been playing. Did you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah, I watched bits of it. I'm like,
It was a good game.
NFL though.
They came back really well.
Yeah,
And
that
drop
pass
dropped
from
yeah.
Scantling, that was pretty bad. But
you see
yeah,
him I saw a video on Twitter of him smashing his helmet up against the wall in the tunnel. Yeah.
Obviously, me being a Patriots supporter, I'm not in a great NFL mood. But
I saw a tweet today. It was about him and was it McCaffrey or who was it? Might have been. There was someone today. He's got the most like touch. He's passed him in touchdowns after only 4 years, and and I saw that, and one of the reply was because this dude, I can't remember who the dude was, but this is who I'm talking about because he was actually running through hard packs getting touchdowns, while Jalen Hurts has two dudes pushing his ass
Oh
into the end
yeah,
zone.
yeah. The
The
fucking
tush push.
tush
It
push.
always
Yeah,
works.
it is
I think
ridiculous.
they're like 53 and 57 in that now.
It's like people that wish that say that it needs to be like um needs to be banned are just stupid. It's a tactic. You can try
It's a
and
good.
use it
It's
if
I don't know how it should be banned. It's a play. Like,
yeah. If you want to use it, go ahead and try and use it. You got to just
mm.
try and fucking stop it. Obviously, it's hard to, but
I mean,
yeah,
it's not like
no,
they're using it from 1st and 10 all the
yeah,
way
just
to the end zone. It's not like
just
it's
doing
not
it
a
the whole
rugby
way.
scrum.
I mean, they
Yeah,
should do it, see how many yards they get. But no,
but
it
they've
is.
been playing really well. Now it'd be awesome to see Jason Kelsey
Yeah,
win a
I
Super
love
Bowl.
Jason Kelsey. I
As much as
don't.
I don't like
Yeah,
Philly, but
I
Kelsey,
hate the
he's
Chiefs.
pretty funny.
I hate the
Yeah,
Chiefs, and I don't like
because of
Philly
Taylor
either.
or because of ESPN.
No, I just don't like Patrick Mahomes. Like, obviously, he's
Yeah,
great and
true.
he's a
That's
goat,
probably
but
another reason.
he's not the goat. He is a goat, but like,
Mm.
um, but I not like I like Travis and I really like Jason, but I hate Philly as well. I just don't like Philly at all.
In any sport.
Yeah, so I
Mm.
think yeah, I want to see the Detroit Lions make the Super Bowl. Obviously, the
Yeah,
Bengals aren't going to make it now with Joe Burrow out, which is depressing.
I'm like obviously everyone's really surprised at Detroit. I think it was I saw a tweet. It was that this is the first time Detroit have been like
Yeah.
this high up since Obama was
No, I think it
president.
was no. There was even like there was another status like this is the first time they've been 8-2 since like 1966.
Yeah, that's
I think it
embarrassing.
was either that or the JFK assassination or something, and it's just like holy shit. But they showed glimpses of it at the end of last year, but I don't think anyone expected them to be this good. But
Mm.
I think not if you're not a Detroit Lions fan, and if you don't have you don't support a team that rivals them, I think you can't really hate the Lions personally.
Yeah,
Obviously, Americans are different with how diehard they are in the sport, but I think they're just such a likable team.
yeah. Well, I mean, Goff's having a really good year. So
Yeah, and I really like Goff. I feel bad for the shit that he went through. Um, Obviously, getting blamed for a lot of it, but yeah,
mm,
I mean, I'm happy for Stafford getting his Super Bowl ring. So, um,
mm.
but yeah, there's a little bit of NFL talk. Maybe next week we'll have a bit of Premier League talk after Liverpool beat City. Actually, before we do leave, prediction for that game: Liverpool v City. Haaland had a questionable fitness test. I think he's going to be fit, but they did raise questions about whether he would be fit or not. So he might not be 100%. But what do you think the result will be for Liverpool City?
I can see City winning.
No, okay. Well, I wish
I
I
feel like
did.
Haaland was just having a fake injury because he knew Norway weren't going to
Yeah,
make it. So yeah, I reckon. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
reckon City.
I'm gonna go 2-2 Liverpool's way. No, I'm gonna go 2-2. I think there'll be a few goals and Liverpool's defense actually because we still haven't got Robbo back, but I'm
Yeah,
going to
we
go
don't
with
have him back
2-2
till the
because
New Year's
Salah's going to score a goal or Diaz, one of them. I think Diaz will start, and I think
or Darwizzi.
Darwizzi will start. Like as good as Jota is like played at times this year, I think against City, he'll want that sort of just mayhem where that Darwin's going to put on the other defenders. So I
He
think
scored two for Uruguay this morning.
yeah, and I think that's going to be a confidence boost as well. So I
Did
think
you
he will
see the
start.
fight with Argentina and Brazil?
That was fucking ridiculous. I saw parts of it, like the Brazil police against the Argentinian. I don't know what the hell the back. Obviously, there's probably history between the two countries or whatever, but yeah, it's shocking to see. But
Mm.
well, we can't do anything from here in Australia, so
I mean, we're chilling. We beat Palestine 1-0 this morning. Yeah,
oh,
horrible game.
World Cup qualifiers, let's go.
Yeah, this I hate this stage because we just beat all the no ones. But we should have beaten Palestine by more. Like, we
Hey,
just
we
played such boring brand of
should have scored
football.
against Bangladesh, mate. So it's
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, and he scored this morning as well. So
oh mate, you may as well play him at striker. Big Harry
a lot of
Maguire.
Leicester fans, a lot of Leicester fans were saying he's already better than Iheanacho. So
Big Harry Maguire. And Harry Maguire came from Leicester, so it's like maybe it's the reincarnation of Harry Maguire. But yeah, we'll talk about more soccer next week, I reckon. Thanks for joining us, Sharpy.
no worries.
And we'll see you next week.
So
Bye.
Australia won the Cricket World Cup.